What's this?
What is what? He asked you a question. What is that?
We come in peace. We come in peace. We come.
He says it is a government psyop and we should destroy it.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Does it seem like there's a ratcheting up of the supernatural on Earth right now? Or at the very least, unlocking of various mysteries? We just discovered an entire city underneath the pyramids. Don't worry about it. Don't ask too many questions. Here's a sphere that was just flying around in the air over Colombia. Now we have it. Nobody can explain it. Nobody can understand. You know, here's nice, crisp photos of it. We're studying it. Nobody can understand like what the hell it is or what's inside of it. You know, no big deal. We have video of the orb just flying around in the sky with no propulsion mechanism, no vehicle mechanism. And, you know, it just like kind of hovers and is chilling over the city. Don't worry about it. We saw it. You can see it kind of land here. Nothing that strange, you know, just like massive new towers at Area 51, massive triangular towers at Area 51 that you can see clearly on Google Maps. You know, it's certainly, definitely not some type of capacity to communicate with aliens or anything. Nothing strange about this at all. Go check Google Earth. You can go check it right now. You can see it for yourself. What the hell is it? I don't know. No, ladies and gentlemen. Everything is fine. Everything's fine. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. With the skies of New Jersey looking like this, with thousands and thousands and thousands of massive aerial vehicles flying over New Jersey at a very low altitude, the size of semi-trucks. The residents of New Jersey be like filming them clearly, and just no explanation at all from anyone. Everyone just said, "Oh, it was just a training exercise." That's what they always say, right? Now we're getting more strange footage from the American military now. And I'm not trying to be a simpleton. I understand that a lot of the stuff is probably being used as an op against us. And no doubt that if Donald Trump becomes too effective, they're gonna run the whole like, don't worry, aliens have come and the aliens demand globalism. You know, like the aliens demand that we give away all of our rights and we can just live inside their alien utopia. Like I get it. I've read about Project Bluebeam and so on. So why would the military be releasing this style of footage? You know why? Here's the brand new one. This from Jeremy Corbell, ladies and gentlemen, with a massive literal flying saucer. The military is releasing. You can see like a literal flying saucer flying through the clouds. What the hell is that? What is that? I don't know. It's allegedly military footage. And you can see the saucer moving around. Again, no propulsion mechanism can be clearly or easily seen. But it's just dipping around the clouds there. What the hell is that? There's an increased contrast. I don't know. Let's read. U.S. military personnel captured an eerie flying UFO saucer, a literal flying saucer. Got it? Okay. Just playing the oldies here. Investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell saying the video was recorded by government personnel near the Afghan-Pakistan border. It shows a massive disc weaving in and out of cloud cover. The Department of Defense labeled the disc a UAP, unidentified phenomena, and it looks markedly different than other tic-tac-shaped UFOs seen by military footage. The raw thermal imagery, along with the additional enhanced clips produced by the U.S. government, show the unidentified craft abruptly changing direction without any visible signs of propulsion. This is the first time in history that military filmed footage of a disc-shaped UAP designated as such by the military has been captured by camera and released to the public. So why would the military release this exactly? Makes you wonder. Again, I'm just trying not to be smooth-brained simpleton here. The military isn't just here to like release its secrets. You're not just gonna get all the secrets from the military. Okay, there's some type of op behind this. I'm not saying I know exactly what it is, but it sure as hell seems like a distraction mechanism. Again, wait for aliens to finally make contact as soon as Trump gets too effective. According to international government slides, Corbell have seen the UAP have described, according to internal government slides, Corbell and Knapp have seen, the UAP was described as navigating through the clouds and characterized as a disk. The military's own internal enhancements, now made public, further underline the object's unusual heat signature, or lack thereof. You do not see plumes of heat coming off the disc-shaped object. This was captured by thermal sensor, so it should have detected any heat. Traditional propulsion was present, but there's nothing. That's one of the wildest aspects. In simple terms, it means that it is unclear exactly how the disk is being powered. Terrestrial aircraft tend to use jet propeller engines, can leave obvious trails along the sky. The footage was extensively studied within the intelligence community. Investigations for years, known to those with high-level access, but never intended for public release. Corbell and Knapp said that they spent over 2 years validating the authenticity of the clips, multiple sources, including individuals who are actively working in government UFO programs. The source is legit. We know it's real, Knapp confirmed during the latest episode of their podcast. It's not supposed to be made public, but it should have been. The object is estimated to be between 200 and 400 meters in diameter. Corbell admits the exact size is being debated. There's depths of field, there's relative distance, the shape is undeniable, and the movement is extraordinary. You're seeing it dip in and out of the clouds. It's not an artifact, there's a real object in motion. It's interesting. And again, I'm not just just trying to connect the dots here. Like, here's a circular object that was filmed in Colombia this month, flying around. They're now studying the object. Can somebody please just drill into it and see if we unlock the mysteries of the universe? I don't know. There it is. There you go. You see it right there. I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. What's going to happen next? Well, it turns out that very interesting things will happen next. The UFO footage from the U.S. Navy warship, this is footage that's been played on Tucker's show and a number of other shows. This is absolutely 100% validated. They know exactly the ship and the people who were taking it. Tic-Tac shaped UAP, one of 4 object observed. Somebody's looking out of the bridge. They see one of these crafts come up and out of the water. You can see here the famous Tic-Tac UFO, as it is called. And it's called a Tic-Tac because it just looks like a Tic-Tac. And it shoots up out of the water, and then it blasts away. Again, without any visible propulsion system. Just chilling. So, what is it exactly? Nobody knows. There's a lot of this kind of stuff. You can talk with pilots. You can talk with pilots about this kind of stuff. A lot of this, there's a considerable amount of this stuff that happens with U.S. military and U.S. military tech. What is it exactly? And, I don't know. And I don't want to be a sucker. But I do know that people that are really smart and who have access to this kind of stuff, people who've been at, my kitchen table, senators, members of Congress, people who have clearances, and they've said there's a spiritual component to this. And that once you figure it out, you, stop asking questions. Angels and demons sort of thing. Well, the single most curious mind on all of this has always been Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan says that interdimensional spiritual beings is probably the best explanation for all of this. Rogan says their appearances to humans as extraterrestrials may be intended to hide the true nature of what they are. And what they are, well, if you ever read your Bible, angels and demons. Angels and demons. Which, if you believe the biblical descriptions of what a demon and an angel looks like, would absolutely look like an alien to you, right? It's not dudes with wings. It's like an alien. They would look like aliens. If you go back to Ezekiel, you can read the descriptions of angels. Demons, of course, are described in various places in the Bible. But yeah, they look like aliens. Satan as a snake, right? Reptilian. Here's Joe Rogan. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think in the description. Do we finally capture a flying saucer? You know, do we actually have the famous flying saucer? I don't know. I'm not sure, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'm just not sure what to believe. Frankly, I think that the description of these being interdimensional, like spiritual in nature, makes the most sense. Okay, but I'm a believer, so roast me in the comments. Don't care. Can't hurt my feelings. That's what I believe. And I'm aligned, I guess, now with Joe Rogan. Fascinating. Here's what Joe has to say.
But I've been talking to a lot of people over the last few months that think that aliens are angels and devils. And that's like when you're hearing about like all those stories in the Bible about fallen angels and devils, like these people think that they were referring to aliens.
That fell from the sky?
No, it's just the term, the way they're phrasing it is like fallen angel, meaning like Satan, and that there's good angels and bad angels, there's demons and angels. What these people believe, and I don't necessarily agree with it, nor do I even understand it enough that I can argue against it, but they believe that all these stories are really referencing a spiritual force that's always here all the time and sometimes exists in the physical form. And it might be existing as these things that we keep looking for, like aliens and UFOs. And it might be doing that maybe even to comfort us, or maybe to be more plausible, or maybe to hide the true nature of what they are. So it will present as if it's from another planet. But really what it is some sort of interdimensional spiritual being that may or may not be evil. It might be good, it might be evil, and there might be a bunch of different kinds out there in the world. But that these stories from like the ancient Hindu texts, and Billy Carson talks a lot about that, and a bunch of other people talk about these different stories from these ancient texts that have people either interacting with sky people or someone coming from the sky and interacting with them. And they think that a lot of these things might be talking about the same thing, and that these aliens that people are encountering, there's some sort of an interdimensional being that has essentially always been here.